I want to say it was in the financial district in one of these really tall atriums, and it was
it's at the Gap.
Okay, and so and so in my mind,
I have a shirt piece in the same space.
Right, so in my mind, in my mind, the piece is real similar to the one that's at the Modern in Fort Worth.
Yeah, totally.
And there's this, part of them chronicling the installation where they're following Sarah around, and he has a sketchbook, and he is sketching the piece. And he's every 5 seconds he's doing another gesture drawing of it. He's going up a cherry picker, and it's just like a gesture drawing, gesture drawing, gesture drawing. And in the moment, I'm thinking, what is this? What is he? What's driving him to do that? What is he trying to? Is he trying to chronicle something? Is he being opportunistic and trying to generate something that he knows someone will want because it's associated with a particular piece at a particular time at a particular place? And it's probably a better question for Richard Serra, but just something about the way you're describing that reminded me of that.
Going back to a different set of drawings. So my last show here was called How to Draw a Circle, which was a collaboration. Collaboration is too close of a word, came out of a kind of dialogue that with Dean Young, the poet Dean Young. And we tried for a year. We met each other, and by accident when he was Texas Poet of the Year and I was Texas Art of the Year at the legislature. And so we were stuck behind the legislature for a couple hours and we talked. So, and we had a lot of things in common. I liked a lot of the poets that he liked, and he had a great sense of humor. And so I said, well, let's try to do something together. Well, it took about a year and a half, and it just didn't. I tried to make work related to what he was doing, and it probably was way too illustrative. And, and he sent me some words, and they weren't right. And I thought we'd probably hit a wall and that we weren't going to get anything out of it. So one day I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, and I was making these sphere pieces. And I decided, I don't know, I had done these drawings of these circles, and I said, well, I don't know, Dina, I'm just trying to draw a circle. Right. And he went, great. And so he said, I'm inspired. And about a week and a half later, I got this poem, How to Draw a Circle, which is in his most recent book. And from there, the fact is those drawings came out of the impulse to make something spherical, but not really having a clue what I was doing. And then they sort of, in relationship to the poem, I learned something I already knew intuitively that was going on, but now I saw that the way he interpreted it, and then I made some other ones so that the three, so the things that all of it operates as a kind of investigation. That actually goes back to one of your earlier questions. Like sometimes you think you know what you're doing, and then you find out you're doing something else. That show that was here was the last one of 3 shows that were based on. All of them had a different set of How to Draw a Circle, and then there was a 4th set that was just bought by the Menil Museum, and so those drawings came out of this kind of thinking that not only was I trying to draw a circle, but I was trying through drawing them to make us, to start here and to end up back here somehow, like they each set would be different. And that's how that operated as a conceptual practice. Now, I hope those things turn out good drawings. I mean, if they don't, it's back to the garden, and they don't get ever seen. I make the drawings, and they suck, and I keep them.
Right.
Or throw them away.
Right. Now, I remember hearing someone talk about when Agnes Martin was on her deathbed. She there was she called this friend to her and said, I'm not going to be able to finish. There are pieces in my studio that the outside eye is going to think is finished, but they're not, and I don't love them. And promise me, if I don't get back over there to do it, will you please destroy them? Right. And because she didn't want it to be watered down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you have the show that starts today here at Talley Dunn in Dallas, And
I actually have a second show up right now at Hiram Butler in Houston, Texas. That's a very different show.
Okay. And so where else, so you can be seen in Dallas or in Houston in the flesh for the next month, give or take. The Dallas Art Fair is honoring you here the second week of April. You mentioned that you were going to be leading a tour of
North Park,
right, and the 3D work that is there,
right.
So you're busy.
No, I'm busy, and we open as the school, since I'm still the school director. We open a new Stephen Hall building, quite a fabulous building for the school on for May 14th, the week of May 14th.
Wow!
I think it opens to the public May 20th.
Sure.
So,
if people wanted to see your work online, would they go to? Do you have a personal website?
I do not. Just go to
Talley Dunn or Hiram
Butler or Anthony Meyer Fine Art, or honestly, if you Google my name, things I don't know, or even there's work out there. I mean, there's work in museum collections, and they have things online, and there's things that are nowadays. God knows where the images come from. But right. The three primary galleries that I work with, I work a little with other galleries, but the three primary galleries I work with are Talley, Hiram, and Anthony Meyer Fine Arts. And there are some other places. Other galleries will have things too. Those are my three primary.
Great. Well, Joseph, it's been a real pleasure. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Craig. This is fun.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your time in Dallas this weekend.
I will. Good, great weather, man. My God, a little. You don't want this humidity. You don't want this humidity in the summer, but it's been pretty pleasant today.
Wonderful.
Yeah, cool.
But it's been a pleasure.
All right, great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a huge thank you to Joseph Havel. If you want to see more of his work, you can check out the website for one of his galleries, such as Talley Dunn Gallery, which can be found online at talleydunn.com. That's TALLEYDUNN.com. I know there are lots of podcasts out there, so thank you for listening to this one. Outside of New York is a weekly podcast. And as always, you can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, or your favorite podcast app. Or you can catch a new episode each week at outsideofnewyork.com, where new talks normally drop on Sunday evenings. You can always check out past episodes and see images from each of our conversations at outsideofnewyork.com. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please go to iTunes to subscribe, and while you're there, please rate the show and leave a quick review. Your feedback is the key to other folks finding us. And lastly, Outside of New York is a commercial-free, listener-supported program. Podcasts have a number of ongoing costs, like paying for a place to store and host all the episodes, or the cost of hitting the road to interview artists who don't exactly live down the street. If you want to make sure we stick around, you can support us by making a donation through Patreon. Patreon is a platform that allows patrons to provide financial support in the form of a one-time payment or monthly donations of as little as $1. Visit patreon.com/outside of New York, or just look for the link at outsideofnewyork.com. Thanks again, and have a great week.